My cousin had invited me for a function. That's how I met David. He was the chairman of the committee.
Mimi ndo nilikuwa napiga kelele, shouting and doing ABCD. And then she was the one serving the food. So I remember the first time talking to her, nilimwambia niwekee food, niongezee. By that time nilikuwa nimevaa hood ya Dave's Kitchen.
When I asked for the hoodie, I was actually very serious.
And I was like, "Aya, so you mean you are that serious?" And then tukaanza kuongea, hata saa hiyo hood hajaipata. Hello everyone, my name is David Mureithi Maina. I'm a chef by profession and also I have a company called Dave's Kitchen. Still I'm a youth pastor, and today our intention to be here is to share our love story, hoping that it's going to educate you and also to give you inspiration. And I've come with my beautiful wife. Yeah.
My name is Mercy Mureithi. I am a teacher by profession. I'm honored to be here today, and we are hoping our love story will educate and inspire you. And this is our love story. I met David in Zambezi at my cousin's place. My cousin had invited me for a function. They were a best couple to one of their friends, and the bridal team had a luncheon at my cousin's place, and that's how I met David. He was the chairman of the committee, and mine was to just go and prepare a meal for the bridal team.
Me seeing Mercy the first day, it didn't even come to my mind that we are going to date or something, you know. Ilikuwa tu tulianza tu kuongea because I was the loudest in that group, you know. Mimi ndo nilikuwa napiga kelele, shouting and doing ABCD. And then she was the one serving the food. So I remember the first time talking to her, nilimwambia niwekee food, niongezee, and making jokes, and I believe we just met that way. And then after that, we started sharing what we do. And I remember saying that I am a chef, you know. I have a company called Dave's Kitchen, and by that time nilikuwa nimevaa hood ya Dave's Kitchen. I think she admired the hood, and she told me that angependa kuwa na hood moja. So that is how we exchange contacts, and tuka agree ndakuja kumletea hood. So I stayed for some days bila communicate. No one was communicating, but I used to view her status. So there is a certain status alieka ikakuwa funny. So I commented on that status. And then boom, akaniambia, where is my jumper? So that is how we started talking.
For me, during that season, I was not ready for dating. I was actually done with dating completely. So when I met David, there were no intentions of dating or seeing anything with him. It was just mutual respect and friendship. When I asked for the hoodie, I was actually very serious because I like bright colors, and the hood was luminous green. So I knew how much I would look nice in it, and then it had that logo for Dave's Kitchen. The hoodie was luminous green and the logo was black, so it was just a perfect hood that you could wear anytime.
At first akinitisha hiyo hood, sikuichukulia that serious because nimekuwa na watu wengi wakitisha that hood wakisema, you know, David, I want your hood, I want you to print. And actually even that hood nilikuwa nimevaa ya green, ilikuwa ya client alikuwa ameitisha na akatupilia hiyo story mbali. So I thought hata yeye amekuja tu kuitisha hood, then out of excitement or I don't know, but na mimi sikuichukulia serious. Since naye tena alienda akanyamaza, mimi nikanyamaza, so nikaona hii kwa that serious. And then sikufikiria inaweza fika to a point of tutakuja tuanze kuongea and then dating, because even me by that time sikuwa nimefikiria mambo ya dating. So nilikuwa niweka tu professional, tunakuja kuongelea story ya hood business, and then after that so tukanyamaza until wakati niliona status yenye ilinifanya nishindwe kunyamaza. So and then wakaniuliza story ya hood, then I was like, aya, so you mean you are that serious? And then tukaanza kuongea, hata saa hiyo hood hajaipata. So ilileta tu conversation ingine, ikaanza story, ikakuja tu story, and then here we are.
So now, we met on the 24th of December. Then that was the day my cousin invited me to cook for their bridal team. Then 3 days later, she invited me to cook again because they were going, the same bridal team was going to have a sleepover. Now this was going to be a longer event. You have time to interact with anyone. Your time ningedai hudi yangu sasa vizuri because we had, you know, like a whole event. We met in the afternoon, then the night, then the next day also was New Year. So we were going to have a very long period of time, you know, kudaiana hii kitu. That evening is, I think that's when things started to change. Like the conversation, in between the lines, the WhatsApp messages started changing because we were not talking much. So we were just texting on phone, on WhatsApp. I'm on the dining table, he's with his friends, but we are still, you know, having a conversation. That's when I realized that, you know, like things might change, things might become different than what we had thought and hoped that they would be.
Hiyo siku tulikuwa na games mob sana, you know, and mi nilikuwa nachukulia tu, of course after hii conversation tumeanza kuwa nayo kwa simu, you can tell, a man can tell kuna mahali hii conversation inaweza end up. But in my mind mi nilikuwa zile za I'm not ready to date because nilikuwa nimetoka kwa previous relationship, like tulikuwa tumekaa na mtu tu like for some years. So na mimi nilikuwa zile za sidhani kama niko ready ku date. So mimi nilikuwa tu zile za tumekaa kwa fun, nikuwe the loudest, nipige story, nipige sherehe, ni make fun. And then I call it a day.
Relationship wise, you know, like, I mean, he's handsome as you can see. So I hadn't thought about a relationship, but at some point to spark tukaanza kukam, like the conversation started getting interesting. You know, when can we have lunch? Can we go for a picnic? Like, can we, you know, try something and see if something is going to get to, you know, to rise from it. So that's when the conversation changed just a bit. None of us were thought that we would actually date, but we wanted to see if something would rise.
Now on how we met, ndo tulikuja tukakuwa na meeting yetu ya kwanza. Tulikuwa tukiongea kwa simu vile tutakutana. So there is this day, ilikuwa mchana tu, in the same place tulikuwa tunakutananga tu as a group kwa now the cousin. Tukakuwa tunakaa hapo tukiongea. So mimi nimekuwa nikimpeleka, yes, nina feel nataka kuingia kwa relationship, nataka kukaa single, nataka kuingia kwa relationship, naona kitu inaanza kugrow, love inaanza kugrow, but tena niko zile za siko sure. Tumekuwa tukipanga 20 dates, lakini mimi nimekuwa nikicheza tu hapa nikizunguka. So that morning, the following night, I think Masi alikuwa amechoka na mimi kumpigisha tu kona. So alikam, nilikuwa nimekaa nje kwa seat, and then I remember she came na akakuja akaniambia, now kama si leo ni leo, today after here we are going to meet so that we can plan our date, so that we can know the way forward. And that is how tulipanga date yetu ya kwanza, and we met na tukaweka vitu sasa kwa ground.
Well, I was excited, very excited, but there is one thing my pastor always used to tell us, that as a woman, always kata food ya free. Ukinvite you a date and ukule, whatever comes out of it, you know, whatever happens next or after is up to you guys. But I was excited because alikuwa ananizungusha tu hivi. I knew he was not ready for dating. I knew I was not ready for dating. but I still had some hope kuona kama kuna before ni make up mind yangu like I'll never date again or I'm not ready to date anytime soon. I try this. If it doesn't work out, then I'm good to go.
Now on that day ya date sasa, I was very clear. I was not ready to date for fun, you know. So nilikuwa in my mind, nilikuwa zile za lazima tu tuweke vitu kwa ground, tukue sure are we dating until marriage ama tuna date tu for fun, you know. So that day I remember tukiongea, and amazingly kila mtu alikuwa na ile intention ya to date for fun, so tuna date up to marriage. So yeah, we talked, tuka agree, and I remember nikimshow mimi siko ready ku date tu for fun, tuna date tuingia kwa marriage. So kama tunaanza hiki kitu ni kwenye up to marriage, hakuna hapa ku try and error. So kama tunaingia ni intention yetu from the word go, tusikuje kuestiana time. Kama ni mabeshte tukua mabeshte, kama ni ku date tuna date kwa sababu ya marriage. Na hata yeye the same alikuwa na the same feeling, hata yeye alikuwa anataka mtu kuja kucheza na yeye kalongolongo.
By the time we were starting to date, hiyo first date, mimi nilikuwa najua, I was not sure. I wanted to make sure that this guy is serious. You know, wanasemanga, there's no for jokes, we are dating until marriage. But for him, I was not sure, because from the very beginning he was telling me he's not ready to date. So why are you ready now? And 6 days ago you were not ready. So I actually didn't tell anyone I'm dating until we were 6 months. No one knew I was dating him. I'm saying he was the ideal man, I will be lying, because I had a different idea of the kind of man I wanted. First of all, I knew in my heart I had never thought I would date a pastor, because you know, being myself being a PK, I didn't want to actually get married to a pastor. But when it happened with David, I had mixed feelings, because I had experienced my dad being a pastor, and then here I am getting married to a man who is a pastor. I was not sure what I really wanted, if David was the ideal man. That's why it took me so long to actually admit or tell anyone that I was dating him.
Of course, me as a pastor, kuna zile tu expectations zenye mapasi wanakuanga tu nazo wakitafuta mawife, yeah? But what I will say, siwezi sema nilikuwa sure ni yeye, but at least nilikuwa nimefanya research tu kidogo, nikajua ameokoka ya ukweli, si ya kujiekelea, na alikuwa na serve kwa praise and worship. Hiyo ndio ilinipatia go ahead. So mi kuingia kwa relationship, number one is because alikuwa ameokoka, si ya kujiekelea. She was truly born again. And then alikuwa na serve kwa praise and worship. And now, you know me now being a pastor, kuna ile pressure tunakuanga now as you marry, you need to make sure you marry someone who understand your call, who understand your assignment in the gospel and ABCD. So kuna hiyo pressure ilikuwa inakam. But me I decided kuingia tu the fact that tu ameokoka. You know, the Bible says you find a wife. So mimi nilifind. Mimi nilisema wacha nimemfind. The truth ni ameokoka. History nyingine tutajua. Because now tumeamua tutadate up to marriage. Hii kwa dating yetu bora tu ameokoka. History nyingine tunaweza eka kwa ground. Tukakuja tukaweka kwa ground. And I think after some time tukiendelea kudate ndo nilikuja kujua she's the kind of woman nimekuwa nikiomba nipate.
What made me reveal that David and I were dating is because of how serious I saw he was when he started talking about marriage. You know, we can't take marriage lightly. So he started talking about marriage, the way he wants us to get married. He wanted to meet my parents. You know, like he wanted to follow the right process of getting into marriage. And that made me realize that he was actually not joking. He was not a fake. He knew what he wanted, and that made me know that he's not here to waste my time. That's when I decided to let a few people know that we're actually dating.
Hizo 6 months mimi tulicheza chini, because sikutaka kukimbia kumintroduce kwa wazazi na sijamjua. the fact that tu alisema nilitrust word yake venye tuliagree up to marriage, but you see it's one thing to speak na kuna another thing kuweka vitu kwa ground. So I wanted to be sure kama ni ukweli Kenya tuliagree, is she ready to kuweka kwa ground. So after hiyo 6 months hapo ndo nilikuja kujua, and also nikajua characters zingine za Mercy. And you see as a man, kila mtu anakuanga na kwa hati yake kuna ile unakuwa umeweka standards za if you want to marry at least unataka dem kwa ABCD. And Mercy alikuwa hizo 6 months already nilikuwa nishaanza kumjua, at least alikuwa amefikisha kadhaa. So I was at least confident nikisema now I'm ready to introduce her into, ajue mabeshte zangu, ajue my family, mimi nijue watu wao. But hiyo process yote bado mimi nilimwambia twende chini ya maji. No posting pictures, not doing anything. Hakuna kupostiana, hakuna kufanya, tukue sure. Tusiende kuweka kwa mtandao kitu yenye tuko sure, tusianze kuambia watu kitu yenye tuko sure until sasa tukakuwa sure. Wakati nilijua tuko sure ni wakati tulipanga kwenda kuona wazazi wake. That nilijua now she's very ready.
Introducing David to my parents was very easy because I have very easy parents, very calm. They were receptive, walimpokea vizuri sana. So I had a very easy time even introducing him to the family. He was well received and well accepted, and that for me made things easier. It made dating David easier. It made us coming out that we are dating easier, because you know when parents accept the person that you brought home, that means they are ready to handle anything that might come on the way. So that made me know that I am actually ready to go and move forward with whatever plans that we had.
On my side, introducing Mercy to my family, my mom really trusts me because me, I've been raised by a mother. The fact that I'm a pastor, ananiambianga we decision yako tu mimi najua. Whatever you decide, I know you have prayed for it and I believe the voice of God over your life. So alikuwa ananiambia your decision, I respect it. And hakukuwa na issues on my side na parents on my side. Ile tu niuliza uko sure? Ni yeye. Bas kama ni yeye uko ready, tuweke vitu kwa ground. So that was only, it got to that easy because my mom amekuwa in trust. The fact that she believes in me also as a man of God also and also as a son, yeah, alini back. Na wakati nilimletea Mercy the first day, alimpenda.
The next plan after introduction, we picked a date for official introduction. In Kikuyu it's called Kuhada Ithege. So we picked a date for that, and we told Kina Devi's parents, his relatives and friends. So they were preparing for that process. My parents were very ready to receive more guests.
About the plan, since I'm the first person to go through this process in my family, in our family, I mean, haikuwa easy because now umeingia una learn at the same time ukiweka vitu kwa ground. My mom hajaikuwa na such kind of experience. Mimi ndo ni mtu wa kwanza kuintroduce this thing kwa familia. Even our family, my brothers, my sisters, hata wao ni kitu haja ku experience kwa life, so ni kitu inakuwa new. Inakuja na a lot of demand, inakuja na a lot of concentration in it. And also watu walinisaidia ni friends because nimekuwa na mabeshte mapasi mavijana wenye wamemari wamepitia hii process. So most of the time hao ndo nilikuwa nauliza, and also the best couple because tulikuwa tushafika baka tusha decide baka best couple kwa hii story because the same person mwenye tulifanya tukakutana, the cousin, ndio approach na wakakubali wakasema it's okay. So hata hao nilikuwa nauliza sana huo mzae na muuzeni aje, inakuanga aje anipatie ABCD tips hapa na pale, and then my friends. So kuweka vitu logistics kwa ground haikuwa easy, but at first mimi nilipata support more, but first from my friends and also my mom, my brothers and sisters, because I think due to Jay na story ya wedding or such kind of a thing, hawakuchukulia that serious. So that is how tuliko hiyo process. So the most support kwa hii meeting ya kwanza ya kuhada ithige, that means kwenda kukutana as a family, kujuana, introduction, nilipata kwa mabeshte na best couple. Wao ndio walikuwa wanani advice sana. So yeah, haikuwa easy, but by the grace of God, we thank God, nilipata usaidizi kwa my friends. And also mama akajaribu kucommunicate huko na kule, akapigia wazee wa Ocha, though wao walikuwa try kuleta tradition, and you know me now being a pastor, so haikuwa that easy, because now as a pastor kuna principle zenye unapaswa kufuata, and then now kuna dini zingine zina compromise, dini za Wakikuyu zingine zina compromise, now the call inakuwa kuna mzozano, so inafika place now you have to stand up, but God ali come through, na ikakuwa faithful, ikakuwa better, tukakuja na vitu zilienda tu poa. What happens kwa introduction, tunaendanga tunajuana, parents from both sides, and then after hapo mnaitisha date ya harusi. So I remember after tumekuwa na hiyo introduction, tukafanya kenye napaswa kufanywa according to Kikuyus, and then tukaulizwa tunataka wedding date ikuwe ni lini, of which tulikuwa tushapanga before tukuja hapo, me and my wife. So tukapeana date ya wedding.
So what happened after the introduction? We did the rurasho. The parents asked Kina Devi to pick a date when they would come back for the rurasho. So we did the rurasho first before the wedding. And I remember our rurasho was cancelled twice because we had hitches on the way. The first date, Kina Devi's family were not ready to come. It was too soon after the introduction, so they requested for another date. And I remember my parents were not happy about that because they were ready to receive the guests. Walikuwa wamesha prepare, you know, Kikuyu families wameita watu aunties from Ushago, so now they have to cancel again. So we had to pick another date, which was for January, and that one happened. The rurasho happened the third time actually. The rurasho was cancelled twice, so the third time is when it actually happened. Yeah.
The first time is because your time ilikuwa less. Now the second time, I think like I've said, hii kitu haikuwa easy on our side, especially now that mimi ndo nimeintroduce kitu mgeni kwetu, ni kitu ijaifanyika, and I think bado ilikuwa issue tu ya preparation. Tuko prepared, tuko ready, time ilikuwa inakimbia, and then I think tuko nachukulia kitu very lightly. Tuko tumechukulia uzito inaweza kuja nayo. So also the second time, I think is about preparation. I think it's also about preparation, right? Because tulikuwa try to gather familia, to gather friends, to gather ideas. So by that time, me and now as a man, nilikuwa napata advice from watu wengi. Best yangu anani advice hivi kulingana na wedding yake, alifanya hivi. Nikienda kwa best couple aniambia hivi, nikienda kwa my mama anasema yeye ashaenda rurashio za watu wengine, nikikuja kwa my family, my brothers wananiambia ABCD. So nilikuwa na advice mingi, so by the time nashika moja nikimbie nayo, time inasonga. So also the second time ikabidi tumecancel. Now the third time ndio I think sasa after experiences hapa na pale, na nimeona how serious hiki kitu yenye iko, I think kuna place ilifika nika stand up now me, nikasema wedoni yangu, yes najua advice yako, najua hii, but now place tumefika venye tuko, hata kama tutakuwa tuko prepared enough, that is how we are going to go, because tutaishi tukipostpone. So niliamua kustick na date no matter what. Ikuwe tumejipanga tujajipanga, hiyo siku tutaenda na tutafika na vitu zitaflow, and then I prayed. And also I remember the best man alikuwa ananiambia tusipostpone tena. Akaniambia no matter the outcome, we make sure tumeenda hiyo siku. So we didn't postpone again, tuka make up our minds na tukaamua tutaifanya the same date yenye tulikuwa tumeweka, na because also we understood tunaweka damage on the other sides because also of their preparation. So tukaamua tutaenda venye tuko.